Good morning, everybody. This is a case I want to bring you up to speed on. It just came out yesterday, November 15th. Today's the 16th, and I want to get it to you right away because it's real important for those of you in the real estate investment world. This is a case about a man who bought a property and it had been converted from a single family home into five individual units that he was renting out as apartments, right? So kind of renting rooms in his home. And the key facts are that the home was built in the year 1927. So it's almost 100 years old. At the time that it was built, and the homes in the area were all built as single family homes. And then over time, it had been kind of chopped up and divided into apartments. When this guy bought the house, it was already being used as apartments, and he just continued doing that as it had been done in the past. What happened, though, is that he became a subject of various building code violations. So some of you are familiar with the city inspectors that come out when there's a complaint about the property, and somebody did complain and they found certain violations, and most of it dealt with fire hazards. So he went to trial, and on the what do we call it, the administrative level, before it went to court. On the administrative level, he was found to have violated all these different building codes and ordered to return the property from its 5-unit apartment back to a single family home. Of course, he objected to that. He went to trial. He lost at trial. He took it up to the Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals agreed with the original findings with the trial court and the administrative matter and said, no, this is a single family home, and you've got all these building violations that you can't get around. He tried to argue it, and there's two main points here that I want you to take away. Whenever you buy a property, there's a zoning problem and there's a building code problem. So this investor looked at the case and said, hey, I think that the administrative body is looking at this as a zoning matter that really is outside their authority. And the Court of Appeals and the trial court said, no, 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 this is all about building code safety violations. So his ceilings were too low. He didn't have adequate smoke detectors. The stairs were too narrow. They weren't braced properly. There wasn't correct ventilation. There weren't egress windows from the basement apartment, right? All these different kind of things that dealt with health, safety, and fire code issues. They were building code problems. So when you buy a property, you know, the takeaway, the final conclusion here is when you buy a property and it's maybe been restored or it's been altered from its original use, realize there's two problems. First is the zoning. Is your zoning right to have multifamily or more uses, more families living there as possible, even for a duplex? Because there's a lot of single families that have gotten chopped into two and made into duplexes, right? Had a quick call there. And the other thing is you've got your building code, your safety, and whether things are up to code or not. And those are two separate issues. You've got to deal with those every time. So take a look at it. The Court of Appeals said, look, go back and make it a single family home, deal with the building code violations, especially the fire and health and safety problems. That's going to get you every time. Right, so be careful when you're buying a property. Don't rely on the way it's always been used. That's a guarantee for failure, right? Just because it's been done before and it's been used that way doesn't mean that it's in compliance. It doesn't mean that it's up to code, and it doesn't mean that the zoning's right. So you got to double check all of that. We'd be happy to help you when you're looking at a property, and give us a call at any time. But I hope you have a great day and learn something from that case, and don't make any mistakes when you're buying a property. Thank you.